was.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sports Ball Talking 10. I'm your host, Brian. Tonight we got the dude with us. How we doing, dude?
I am still recovering from that game.
Man, yeah. Well, tonight we're here to talk about the CFP, specifically the last semifinal game here. But before we get into Oregon, Indiana, I would be remiss if we didn't at least touch on Miami and Ole Miss. I have to do this. I have to take off my hat for those boys. That was, for me and my money, that was absolutely, without a question, the game of the playoff. And I really enjoyed the Georgia game that Ole Miss was also a part of. That was a really good one. But, man, what a show. That's the kind of football you want to watch. You know, it was back and forth. The fourth quarter, there was 4 lead changes. It was just a shootout, man. And I just love to see that kind of football. I mean, and what's crazy is Carson Beck and Chambliss had almost identical numbers until you look at the touchdowns and the interceptions. It was a little bit different there. And to be honest, Carson was having not a very good game until he got to that little scoot boot into the fourth. So, he saved the game there for himself. And I honestly think that touchdown's what got him that offensive player of the game. But, ooh-wee.
I don't know, man. I think the player of the game might have been wearing stripes.
Tony.
The last, I'm just saying, I think there was some PI right there at the end. And
I think everybody in the country has seen that clip by this point. And I'm no zebra, but when you're tucked inside of somebody's shoulder pads and you tackle him before he gets to the ball, it's usually a flag. And what killed it for me was the rules analyst who wanted to chirp in after the fact and was like, it was just a mutual, I'm okay with that kind of contest. No, that's not how that works at all.
No, it was not.
So I hated that for him. In my opinion, there should have been at least one more play, maybe gotten a real shot at seeing some kind of magic right there at the end. But, the script's the script, and Miami's playing in Miami now. So, but to be fair, awesome game. I felt like the coaching was on par. Golding did a great job. There was just, you couldn't really differentiate from who was making the mistakes. Everybody made a little bit of mud. And to be honest, Miami dropped 3 sure picks. So this game could have been a lot more ugly. But, right there at the end, last second, and you got what you got.
It definitely could have been a lot worse. There was a little bit of sloppiness that you don't expect to see in playoffs, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you got a winner and you got a loser, and it kind of panned out the way it did, man. I hate it for Chambliss because apparently he's done in college. NCAA says you no more play for us, you got to move it up. So you hate to see that. Pavia, same kind of deal. No more eligibility for these boys. So I think he put something on tape, though. He'll do well on the next level if he chooses to do that. I already saw him in his AT&T commercial, so he'll be fine.
Yeah, he's going to make the money. He'll be fine.
Well, the standout for me, though, really usually is it's the front 7 for Miami. Bain and company shutting stuff down, no run, no. Their numbers weren't really there, man. I mean, and when they got gassed hard. I mean, Keelan Lacey, even on one bad leg, he cut a couple chunks on them, and that's not typical. I was really impressed with Miami's secondary, though. Those boys were putting it on the line, head, knees, shoulders, backs, whatever they had to do, they were laying the wood. And, even them, they missed some tackles. So, not the tight defense I'm used to seeing the past couple of games with these guys. They have been shut down, locked down. It's just, they looked NFL elite kind of stuff. And going from that to being banged up and, still putting a good game on, but not quite the game we were looking for, to still win, that says a lot about the coaching that was involved here and just the will of these boys to try to win and the referees wanting to help them out a little bit. But anyway.
Like you said, I think most entertaining game so far in the playoffs, for sure.
Yeah, that's the one you want to see. No blowouts, no shutting, no goose eggs, no Texas Tech didn't score kind of stuff. This was a good game. My favorite game of the CFP for sure. I'm really, really hoping that this next one tops it, though. We're inside 30 minutes for kickoff on this. And this has potential of being the game of the year. It's a rematch. Didn't pan out too well for Oregon last time. 42-20. That's a tough pill to swallow. That's tough. So I don't think you get beat that bad twice, though. I don't see it. You're familiar with the team. You know the players you're playing. You at least know what kind of system they're running. You know who to look for. I think the guy to look for here is going to be Dante Moore. I think this game is going to have to be on his absolute shoulders, and he is going to have to carry this team and will this team to a win if they want to win. He is absolutely going to have a bunch of rushing yards. When third down's not there, he has got to make it. There's no sitting in the pocket. I liked it when he's moved this year. He is absolutely going to have to do that in this game. He's going to have to slide out of there because the Hoosiers defense, wow, watching them route Bama the way they did, that will hurt your heart. That is the
Old
worst.
Dominion put up a better fight.
I'm just
saying.
That is the worst beatdown in memory for me for Alabama. And that was just, they were outclassed in every form and fashion. They got outcoached. They got outplayed on both sides of the ball, on the line, secondary, special team. They did not do anything better than Indiana, and they got their butt kicked. So I've already rambled a little bit here. What are you thinking generally here on this one? It's going to be a good one. I think that line is proper, and I think this spread is right on. What are you thinking, dude?
I think if you're looking at it on paper, you've got to be crazy if you do not think that the Indiana Hoosiers are going to come out victorious. That being said, I'm putting my money on Oregon because that's what doesn't make sense to me. But what does make sense is a Miami team that looks like it might have had some fudging to get in there. I think they have no chance against Indiana. I think they have a chance against Oregon. And I think that is the only way to keep the final big game an interesting game because I think Indiana destroys Miami.
Man.
So that's the tinfoil hat. And
follow this, huh? I hear you. I don't know, man. It's
like I said, paper, Hoosiers got it. I mean,
they do in most regards. The only place I would say that they have, I'd say even a 50-50 is in the trenches. I think their front seven on defense for Oregon's very good. I think the O-line for Indiana is very good. And I think that battle could go either way. So I honestly think it's going to have to step back, and we're going to see the linebackers and the secondary really have to show up in this game.
I will say, I think I may have slept on Mendoza a bit this season. I've really kind of tried to dive into him, especially in this playoff season. And the more I'm seeing these really one-on-one or more intimate interviews with him, I think he's got a touch of the tism. And I think that tism is football tism. Mm-hmm. And I think that is somebody who – I don't want to put things out there and, put a curse upon them or whatever, but that's where you get your next Brady type person, someone with that level of focus and who sees the world in those X's and O's, or maybe his forehead will just grow like he's, one of those Mannings.
I kind of agree with that. I feel like this kid eats, sleeps, and breathes football, and I feel like that's the only thing he exists for. And he's been outspoken about wanting to get to the next level, do well there. I think he's got the mentality for it. He definitely knows how to do interviews. I've heard the word goober thrown around a lot for him, but if your goober can go out there and win a Heisman Trophy and play the way he's playing, I'll take a goober all day over an asshole.
Yeah, that goober can eat that pigskin. Let him goob away.
And I really think the quarterback battle here is going to be paramount. I feel like whoever makes the least mistakes here is going to be the one that wins. And I think it's really going to come down to coaching, which I think Indiana has the advantage in. I think it's going to come down to the least mistakes, which I think Mendoza absolutely has. Yeah, what did he go, 14 for 16 the last game? He threw more touchdowns than he did not passes. So if you're doing that as a quarterback and not throwing picks, that's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
So we'll see. There's a lot to go back and forth here with. Both defenses have some studs on them. I mean, you got Big Bryce over at Oregon. He's got 125 tackles this year. That's not solo, but that's across the board tackles. That's a lot of freaking tackles. That guy is where the football is, and he's a monster to boot. And then on the other side, you got Hardy. He's leading
I was
the
just about to
Hoosiers
say
in
Hardy. He's a
sacks
shark.
and tackles. Yeah, I mean that guy.
That's blood in the water. Don't even
He's
get
hunting,
out there
man.
because he's going to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just. What do you do?
It's going to be a fun one. It'll be entertaining. I think this will definitely be a better game than the previous matchup this season for sure.
I agree. Well, let's wrap it up here. Let's get straight to it, dude. You've already said Oregon. You think they're going to win because that makes sense for you. I think Indiana wins. I don't think they cover the spread. I think they win by a field goal because Oregon is going to have to hang around and make this interesting all day. And if not, I don't think it's going to be close. It's going to be a runaway for Oregon. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it's not a close game, I think it's going to be not a close game because Oregon wins. Anyway, over and under, definitely going under. The defenses are very good here. Very, very good.
I'm going to have to put it on the definite over. I think far too many people are betting that it's going to be under, and I think it just makes sense. It plays out there, and I think at the end of the day, you do have some tremendous arm talent. You've got some tremendous football brain out there. You are going to see some points get on the board, regardless of how strong both defenses are.
Okay, well, I'm thinking you might be right, but if this turns into a field goal fest, what a dud to come after the game we saw last night. I would be just thoroughly disappointed. Don't think that's what's going to happen. I think this is going to be a good football game. So, but if it starts getting wonky, we're going to have to start watching the zebras. Well, that's all I got. We're getting right into the game. We're about 15 minutes out. I am super stoked to watch it. I appreciate you being here, dude. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our other channels. DBP's getting pretty hot. They've got some funny shorts coming out weekly. Check out Sports Ball Talk shorts every week. And don't forget, we got Rewind. We love watching the movies and telling you how we feel about them. GB missed out tonight, but he'll never miss you in the cinema. So check us out. We'll see you soon. I hope to see you guys on the field.
Later.